What is up, YouTube? In today's video, we're going to talk about the latest hot topic, which is Clubhouse. This is like the latest social networking app everyone's kind of talking about. In this video, I'm just going to like kind of introduce what exactly it is and where like anyone can use this app to stay up to date in terms of knowing about the latest hot topics going around the world, getting people's opinion, and etc. And like you can also follow specific communities, like how to stay up to date and like in terms of data and following the right people. In this video, I'm gonna give away 2 free invites for Clubhouse because I've got 2 of them with my account in place. And the other thing is I would like to really thank of my latest subscribers subscribing to my channel. It really helps a lot, kind of help me to push content continuously and regularly. So without further ado, let's move forward with the topic. Let me just quickly share my screen. All right. So to explain it better, I kind of connected my mobile. So to introduce like how you can use the app and navigate your way through. So what exactly is Clubhouse? I kind of prepared a few notes. So it's just a social networking app, which has like in terms of when you kind of log in, you have a lot of people in together. They have the profiles very similar to Twitter, but then they have instead of like newsfeed, they have this place where you can create rooms, and these are specifically audio chat rooms where people kind of define the topic, and then they use rooms to kind of invite people and broadcast their podcast. So it's basically generally like an audio-based podcast, and someone can just go there and hop in and listen to the latest podcast people are talking about. So within the app, like there are like 2 groups. One is like the speakers, and the second is like the listeners. So depending on like if you're creating your own group, you definitely are the speaker. But when a kind of a group is kind of large, they're like specific set of speakers, and they kind of produce the podcast in a timely fashion. And you can just hop into here latest conversation, like raw and unfiltered conversation about the topic. Yep. So this is mainly about Clubhouse. This is kind of also a Silicon Valley startup, if I'm not wrong, by Paul Davison and Rohan. They kind of started 2020. The coronavirus and lockdowns kind of blew up the internet anyways, and this was possibly a plus for them as well, where the podcasting app kind of blew up eventually because everyone staying at home wanted to get their content in different fashion and better and more relatable fashion, I guess. So wanted to discuss a few more things, like why it kind of is right now suddenly popular, because a lot of the famous people are now getting into this platform, even though right now it's like a invite only and iOS only app where only like a single person inside of the app can recommend 2 people. That's how I got mine, and that's where I kind of have 2 more to spare. So recently, like Elon Musk, Marc Zuckerberg also joined. They joined into listening to conversations. So this kind of blew up eventually, like through Twitter and etc. All right, so it's quite interesting to see that how it's like so popular, but also see like how it's the reasons behind this new app coming in place, like how it is different. Just a quick comparison in terms of how this app is a bit different would be like it is like more of a Reddit style, where there are like close communities, and plus with the close communities comes the raw and unfiltered podcast content, where people just hop in with the groups in place, sharing their opinions. So it makes kind of a raw and unfiltered content for people to see and get different people's opinion, possibly someone they're following, the popular people, that could kind of helps. And then it's kind of more engaging than just blogs and posts, because you are more involved in terms of listening to the stories of the speakers, quite easy to understand and more relatable. And then this is like way less clickbaity compared to what's out there in terms of news feeds in Facebook and Instagram or Twitter. You're just going through the different news feeds with catchy titles, clickbaity titles and images. It's kind of not very similar to that. It's a bit different, and right now no ads yet. That's kind of a plus. but eventually we might see ads when it grows. But before moving forward, I really want to show like how this app looks like for you people out there who haven't seen this yet. So let me do a quick demo. I've connected my mobile phone to this recording on the left, so it's easy to navigate. So I already have like 3 apps in place. um, Most of you would know the other 2. Let's click on Clubhouse and see what it is like. So right out of the box, they do have a feed in place, but it's not like the content is being bombarded to you, and it's just more of like looking at the groups, right? Just going through the groups, what kind of groups I'm following, and this is kind of based on my interests. You can see on top the upcoming events which I would be interested to look at. Kind of organized, and I really like this kind of UI in place. So let me do a quick full screen right now. So yeah, so the important part is like you can go into any of the group. The topic can be anything or everything. For me, the interest would be like tech side, but yeah, there are other groups for like spirituality or like talking random stuff. I haven't explored that much, but in terms of you can just go and also start a room and invite people. Not going to do that right now, but this is how it works. So for example, if I go into any group, there's like the total people who are attending, and there's a list of like speakers. Even though I'm kind of not allowed here, but I'm just gonna do a quick overview and just show how it looks like, but not gonna show the actual podcast in place. So these are the list of speakers speaking through, and then there are like a lot of listeners in place listening to the conversation, and then you can raise your hand to speak, but only if the moderator allows. But then you can also just leave quietly. That's what I'm gonna do. So would be interesting for someone to hop on there, like only if you get an invite, and that's what I'm here for. I'm gonna send an invite to 2 people. That's what we're gonna do. But in terms of content available, would be interesting is to just explore it and go through what different kind of content is available. You can just explore the app in terms of looking at places, like people talk about different places, regular stuff, and then what our interest in this video would be tech. I have seen a lot of hustle groups in place where they talk about independent startups, how people are working super hard for themselves. It's okay, but like I'm gonna focus on tech. So in terms of the groups, you can follow a lot of them out there. So be mindful on what you're selecting. I try to keep it as minimal as possible, so I'm not bombarded with a lot of content. And that's what we're not gonna do. So if I click on engineering, you're gonna show me like top engineering groups. So I have a few suggestions. I'm gonna go through that in a bit, but that's mostly about how the app looks like, and how you can just leverage to understand the latest topics and what's going on in the world. So also one thing to add on here is like this app would be a good place to start networking if you're interested in connecting with the right people, especially if you're focusing on like building startups. I think that kind of people are definitely here, and it's more of like a Twitter style where you have a follower and what you're following, and you can directly connect with these people and chat with them through audio. Okay, so moving on from the demo, so couple of things to discuss, like what would be like what's in it for you, like someone joining the app, how it would be helpful for you. 2 parts. One would be if you are a content creator or an influencer, just go in and start a room, because a podcast room is definitely more engaging for your audience. Just be sure of your timings and like in terms of the frequency and the consistency of your podcast. Try to follow a schedule. This will definitely help you build strong communities if you're looking forward to that. And I'm like me myself, like I'm also kind of looking forward to building my brand as like a personal brand. So eventually I might hop in there and kind of start a channel there. And in terms of the other set of people who are interested in keeping up to date, I use a lot of Twitter and other platforms to keep myself up to date. But this platform is also very interesting to see the raw and unfiltered opinions of the people, are the right people if you would want to follow the specific set of people if you're interested in. Just would be very interesting to see their opinions in through audio. I think it's like quite engaging. That's what I understand. So instead of just being like bombarded with news feeds, catchy titles, this is like just a more engaging platform to be in. Yep. I also wanted to show a few more things, like a few more groups, which would be very helpful for people looking to understand data better. So there are like a few groups I found very interesting. One of them is like data and AI. The other is like data vision presentation. And then there's one called machine learning and AI, which is quite popular. So feel free to check them out. They always have timings in place, the popular ones, and they kind of have a description. You can join them and see the latest topic going on. This kind of helps everyone following this up to date what's going on like in machine learning and AI. And you can also see like the kind of members exist and the kind of moderators exist. Very interesting to see that. And you can also look for specific people to follow and see which groups they kind of are speaking in, and you can definitely connect there directly and just see what kind of content they are making available. So very interesting. Like a lot of fresh content is coming over compared to previously like news feeds. Also on the other side of things, I saw a few articles where I can see like Facebook and Twitter would be trying to compete with Clubhouse. They're kind of building a similar app. As a personal opinion, I'm possibly not in favor of that. I saw that like what happened to Snapchat, Clubhouse growing as an independent product would be very interesting. But yeah, definitely some competition would be there, because this is a very interesting space for other social media companies to be in. So let's see how it goes there. Anyways, one more thing before we shut down this video, how you can get the invite. I can see a lot of you people might not have the Clubhouse access yet, because this is like an invite only and iOS only. So for the iOS only, you cannot change that, but for invite only, I have a giveaway in place. So usually these invites on eBay are going for like $30,000 to $20,000. I've seen that already. Eventually they will open up, but right now it is invite only. So I'm giving away 2 free invites. So if you would want an invite from my end, please leave a like to my video, subscribe my channel, and follow my Twitter account. This way I can track you through like the channels and select 2 random winners and send them an invite via email. Anyways, if you guys saw value out of this video, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and definitely like this one. It would help my video to be recommended to others, similar people like you. Thanks a lot.